You ever wake up to someone banging on your door at 6 in the morning, acting like they own the place? That's how my quiet life by Willow Lake turned into a full-blown war with a woman named Linda Grayson, who thought she could bully me into her fake HOA scheme. One old map, tucked away in my family's attic, was about to blow her whole operation sky high. I'm Tom Alvarez, a retired land surveyor, living in a small cabin by Willow Lake, Tennessee, for the last 4 years. Picture this: a misty morning, coffee brewing, the lake sparkling like it's got secrets to tell. Then, boom, 2 guys in knockoff sheriff uniforms are pounding on my door, yelling about how I'm illegally occupying HOA land. I'm half asleep, rubbing my eyes, thinking, who the hell are these clowns? They're waving a clipboard, spouting some nonsense about Provisional Community Order 552C, claiming I owe fees for rules I never signed up for. Their badges looked like they were printed at a Kinko's, and the way they flinched when I asked for ID told me everything this was Linda's doing, and it was personal. Linda showed up a couple weeks earlier, all fake smiles and a binder full of regulations she'd clearly written in her basement. She called herself the interim coordinator for the Willow Lake Community Association, which, spoiler alert, didn't exist. "Mr. Alvarez," she said, her voice dripping with that condescending tone you know means trouble, "we're ensuring property values stay high with the new folks moving in." The way she lingered on my last name, like it was a problem, hit me right in the gut. I've been around long enough, 52 years, to be exacto spot a bigot hiding behind a clipboard. I told her I wasn't joining her little club, handed back her papers, and watched her face twist like she'd bitten a lemon. "This isn't optional, Tom," she snapped. "State law requires compliance." Yeah, right. I spent 20 years mapping property lines. I know a con when I see one. That morning, after her fake cops hightailed it when I pulled out my phone to record their license plate, I started digging. First call was to Sheriff Daniels, a good guy who'd fished with my dad back in the day. "Tom, impersonating an officer's a federal crime," he said, voice tight with anger. "Give me those photos." While waiting for his deputy, I pulled out my grandpa's old surveying kit maps, deeds, the works, going back to 1890. That's when I found it. A yellow deed showing my family didn't just own this cabin, but half the damn lakefront, including the shiny new office Linda had built for her HOA. She'd screwed up big time, and I was about to make her regret it. See, Linda wasn't just some busybody with too much time. My research turned up her real name was Linda Carver, and she'd pulled this stunt before in Kentucky and Alabama, always targeting folks like me, with names like Alvarez or Garcia or Lopez. Why? Because she thought we wouldn't fight back, that we didn't know the law. Big mistake. Every family she'd harassed around Willow Lake had a Hispanic surname, while the Wilsons and Thompsons got grace periods to consider her rules. It wasn't about property values, it was about pushing us out for a shady developer called Horizon Estates. I could feel my blood boiling, but I stayed calm, methodical, like I was back on a survey job, measuring every angle. Things escalated fast. By Wednesday, Linda had private security goons parked in my driveway, big guys in tactical vests acting like I was a national threat. "Stay on your property, Alvarez," one growled, like I was some kid they could scare. I just sipped my coffee, filmed them, and called Sheriff Daniels again. 20 minutes later, his deputies had those clowns explaining why they were trespassing without permits. But Linda didn't stop there. She filed court papers claiming I was a disruptive element, making threats against community safety. The woman had nerve, I'll give her that, spinning lies like a soap opera writer. I wasn't alone, though. My lawyer, Rachel Kim, a pit bull in housing discrimination cases, saw the pattern right away. "Tom, this is straight-up civil rights violations," she said, eyes blazing as we pored over Linda's fake documents. We drafted a federal complaint, laying out how she targeted Latino families while letting white folks slide. But the real kicker was that deed certified by the county, showing her office sat on my land. Rachel grinned like a kid on Christmas. "She built her castle on your property, Tom. We're going to tear it down." The feds got involved when Deputy Maria Ortiz, a friend from church, uncovered Linda's ties to Horizon Estates. Maria felt awful. She'd almost bought Linda's community safety pitch herself, thinking she was helping the neighborhood. Instead, Linda was a hired gun, paid $12,000 a month to scare folks into selling cheap, so Horizon could flip our lakefront for a luxury resort. Maria dug up emails, recordings, even a Horizon memo calling us undesirable demographics. It was sickening, but it was gold. The FBI's Agent Carter called me in, saying they'd been tracking Horizon across 15 states. "Tom, your stubbornness cracked this wide open," he said, handing me a recorder to wear. "Linda's gonna slip up. Keep doing what you're doing." She did slip up big time. Linda went full psycho, plastering flyers around town with my face, calling me a domestic extremist. Neighbors started avoiding me, whispering at the gas station. The local diner waitress, Ginny, asked if I was that terrorist guy. It stung, but I kept my cool, knowing the feds were listening. Sure enough, Linda's calls to Horizon bosses, ranting about neutralizing Alvarez, were intercepted. Next thing I know, FBI raids hit her office, her house, and 3 Horizon sites. They hauled her away in cuffs, along with 2 execs and a crooked county clerk who'd been taking bribes. The trial was unreal. I took the stand in Chicago, facing a room full of reporters and families like mine from all over. "Your Honor," I said, voice steady, "my great-grandpa, Juan Alvarez, bought this land in 1890, building railroads with his bare hands." Linda tried to steal it with fake badges and lies, thinking my last name meant I wouldn't fight. The jury's faces said it all: disgust, anger. Maria's testimony sealed it, choking up as she admitted Linda played her. The prosecution dropped bombs, recordings of Linda laughing about scaring off the Latinos, Horizon's $300 million profit from stolen land, even payoffs to a HUD official. The jury took 4 hours. Guilty on all counts: racketeering, fraud, civil rights violations. Linda got 7 years. Horizon's CEO got 12. The judge's ruling, now called the Alvarez Doctrine, made fake HOAs a federal crime. Damn, that felt good. Standing on my dock 3 years later, watching the sunrise over what's now Alvarez Lake, the county renamed IT, I can't believe how far this went. The feds passed the Alvarez Property Protection Act, setting up a task force to hunt scams like Linda's. I'm on the advisory board now, helping families from Texas to Montana fight back. The Garcias turned their land into a community orchard. The Lopez kids go to college on restitution funds. Even Linda, out on parole, showed up one day, quieter, humbler, working with legal aid to stop schemes like hers. I didn't forgive her, didn't think I ever will, but I nodded, told her to keep at it. Justice isn't always handcuffs. Sometimes it's making sure the Karens of the world can't hurt anyone else. Here's the thing. This started with one nosy woman and a fake HOA, but it exposed a machine that's been screwing over families like mine for years. If your HOA's acting shady, digging into your rights might just save your home or your neighbors. Ever dealt with a Linda in your town? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about how we shut these scams down together.